Mom wanted to buy me a really nice calf horse. Dad didn't really push me away from it, but I told Mom I didn't really want a calf rope. I wanted to ride bulls, and now here we are. I was glad it rained today, and I didn't care how muddy it was because we need the rain here.
But he ain't been on very many bulls, but he's good for the amount of bulls. I mean, you ain't got to worry about it.
Looks like his rope's pretty worn out. Hey! Woo! Sorry, Nate. Yeah, he is. Saw my first rodeo when I was probably 6, 7. We went on a trip out west with the family and went to Cody Stampede, to Cody Night Rodeo. And that was the first rodeo I saw that I remember.
Drew had pestered me for a long time that he wanted to ride a bull, Called me at the office one day and said, hey, they're doing steer riding. Okay, I'll go down, I'll sign the waiver, you can get on, and we'll get this out of his system. So he goes down and he gets on his steer and it comes out and it runs to the other side of the pen, makes a hard left, he goes to the right. When he hits the ground, his head and one shoulder and arm are stuck through the panels, and he hit really hard, and I thought, well, that'll fix this. And he jumped up and had this wild look in his eye, and I knew right then that this isn't over, there's going to be more of this.
And one day I was sitting in the living room at the house and stumbled across West Virginia High School Rodeo, which, you know, I did all those I could. And in the Southern Extreme Bull Riding Association, I found them. I did quite a few Southern Extremes. So when I joined high school rodeo in West Virginia, I was the only member. We rodeoed pretty much solely with Virginia High School Rodeo. They were gracious enough to let me come over and rodeo with them. My senior year, we had grown to about 12 members, and now it keeps growing every day. So the first big rodeo I competed in, not big money-wise, but big just size, was the National High School Rodeo Finals in 2012. Dad and I flew out, and we pulled up to the rodeo grounds there, and I looked at him and said, what have we gotten ourselves into? Yeah, so I did make a quick jump from the high school rodeos to the zebras. The high school rodeos, the bull power wasn't nearly as high as it was in the zebras. I went from, you know, jump kickers or something that would turn back nice and easy to bulls that you would see at the PBRs. Not only the bull power changed, but the atmosphere changed, the pace of the show changed until I graduated high school. Once I graduated high school, I got a scholarship to rodeo for the University of Wyoming under George Howard. Went out to Wyoming and college rodeoed for 4 years, all while doing some local bull ridings back here, and then started PRCA pro rodeoing. I made the 2017 Mountain State Circuit Finals. You know, tried to go hard a couple years after that, dealt with some injuries. Then I moved back to West Virginia to be closer to family, where I went back to the Southern Extremes, did some pro rodeos around here, had to travel a lot for those, and then I just started fighting bulls, and I haven't been on a bull in over 2 years now.
Said he bullied you into it.
Damn it, why you got me out? Damn. I passed the pen over, I said, hey, hold that right quick.
So I made the switch to fighting because I moved back from out west. And saw some rodeos here where I wasn't really happy with, you know, the protection aspect. I got the bar set really high out west with some of the guys, and I thought, well, heck, I can do better than that. So I gave it a try and just found out that I was, you know, pretty good at it. I can read it really well from where I was a rider, and I have a lot of fun doing it. So my goal moving forward is get better every day. You know, if you're not getting better every day, you're getting worse. I'd love to be able to get my pro cards in the PRCA and the PBR. It makes it a little tough being from West Virginia. It's just a passion to stay around the bull riding. That's where I started. That's where I'll end. It's a passion I have. I love watching the bulls buck. I love watching you know, the athleticism that these bulls show. I love taking care of them. So I want to stay around the bull riding end of things, just the love I have for it. I've always loved the bull riding ends. Even when I was little, I just watched the PBRs. We watched the NFR and I'd stay up late just to watch the bull riding. I love the challenge of man versus beast, and I love watching the bulls buck, the athleticism they show, the different personalities all the bulls have. You know, there's some bulls that are big old pets, like 40 up here, he's a big old pet. But, you know, there's some bulls that no matter what, he's gonna try to eat your lunch. So I've made a lot of friends, and, you know, they've become like family throughout rodeo, and it kind of worked out because I have friends all over the United States. If I am going somewhere and I'm going out west, you know, around here I got a place to stay, I got friends to see. So Dad and I, we went together on some bulls and on some cows, and that's kind of where we are now. We're at the farm, and it means a little bit more getting to do with Dad. Dad never really rodeoed, and it's something that, you know, since I started rodeoing, that he really enjoys. And getting to spend more time with Dad always means so much to me.
We've talked about it. We'd like to have a few bulls to raise. I enjoy raising them from calves up until, you know, the first 5 or 6 rider trips. I like being around them. And then the older bulls too. Some of the ones in the middle are. He's just passionate about fighting bulls. He doesn't care who they are, which bulls. He's not in it really so much for the accolades of being, you know, Bullfighter of the Year of this organization or that organization. He'll fight for whoever as long as he gets to go somewhere to fight. He just loves it. He loves